He attacked with an axe and left a chilling demand for jazz music. I'm driving through Vietnam's dark, misty streets at night to share the true story of the Axeman of New Orleans, one of America's most bizarre, unsolved mysteries. Buckle up. This tale will haunt your dreams. The Axeman of New Orleans, America's Jazz Killer Mystery, 1918 to 1919. In the sweltering summer of 1918, the city of New Orleans, Louisiana, was a melting pot of cultures, alive with the sounds of jazz drifting through the humid air. The city's Italian-American community, many of whom ran small grocery stores, lived in modest homes along the Mississippi River, a place where families worked hard to build a better life. But beneath the vibrant music and bustling streets, a shadow was creeping through the night, a shadow that carried an axe and a thirst for terror. Between May 1918 and October 1919, a mysterious figure known as the Axeman struck fear into the heart of New Orleans, leaving a trail of chaos and unanswered questions that still linger over a century later. The first incident occurred on May 23, 1918, in the home of Joseph and Catherine Maggio, an Italian-American couple who ran a small grocery store. That night, the couple was asleep in their bedroom when an intruder broke in through a back door. Using an axe, later found to belong to Joseph himself, the intruder struck with ruthless precision. Neighbors heard nothing, but the next morning, Joseph's brother discovered the horrifying scene. The couple had been attacked in their sleep, their lives taken in a frenzy of violence. A small safe in the house was untouched, and nothing seemed to be stolen, leaving police baffled about the motive. The only clue was a message scrawled in chalk near the house. "Mrs. Maggio will sit up tonight, just like Mrs. Tony." Investigators linked the message to earlier unsolved cases from 1911, hinting that the Axeman might have been active for years, targeting Italian families. Over the next year, the attacks continued with a chilling pattern. The Axeman targeted Italian-American households, often grocers, breaking in through a panel of the door, sometimes chiseling it out with eerie precision. He would use an axe, often taken from the victims' own homes, to strike while they slept. In June 1918, a grocer named Louis Bessumer and his mistress, Harriet Lowe, were attacked in their home above their store. Louis survived with a fractured skull, but Harriet later passed after surgery, whispering to police that a tall, dark man had attacked them. In August, a pregnant woman named Mary Schneider was found unconscious in her bed, her face bloodied from an axe blow. Miraculously, she survived and gave birth to a healthy baby days later, but she had no memory of the intruder. Each incident left the city on edge, with no clear motive or suspect in sight. The Axeman's terror reached its peak on March 13, 1919, when he sent a letter to the New Orleans Times-Picayune newspaper, a message that would become infamous in American crime history. The letter, written in a taunting tone, claimed the Axeman was a demon from the hottest hell, untouchable by police. He declared that on the night of March 19th, St. Joseph's night, he would pass over the city, sparing only those who played jazz music in their homes. "I am very fond of jazz music," he wrote, "and I swear by all the devils in the nether regions that every person shall be spared in whose home a jazz band is in full swing at that hour." The city erupted into a frenzy. That night, jazz music blared from every corner of New Orleans, from bars to private homes, as residents desperately tried to protect themselves. No attacks occurred that night, but the Axeman's letter only deepened the mystery of his identity. The final known attack came in October 1919, when grocer Mike Pepitone was struck down in his bed, leaving his wife and 6 children to discover the tragic scene. Mrs. Pepitone claimed she saw two figures fleeing the house, but her description was vague and no arrests were made. After this incident, the Axeman vanished as mysteriously as he had appeared, leaving behind a city gripped by fear. Over the course of his reign, the Axeman was linked to at least 6 attacks, with some estimates suggesting up to 12 victims, though many survived. The lack of a clear motive, money was rarely taken, and the attacks seemed random, fueled countless theories. Some believed he was a lone madman with a hatred for Italians, possibly tied to organized crime like the Mafia, which was active in New Orleans at the time. Others speculated he was a serial predator who enjoyed the power of fear, using the jazz letter to toy with the city. A few even suggested a supernatural element, pointing to the Axeman's claim of being a demon and his ability to evade capture. The investigation into the Axeman was hampered by the limitations of early 20th century policing. Fingerprints were rarely used, and forensic science was in its infancy. Suspects were questioned, most notably a man named Joseph Momfrey, a known criminal who some claimed was the Axeman, but no concrete evidence ever linked him to the crimes. Momfrey was later killed in 1920 by a woman named Esther Albano, who claimed he had attacked her family, but her story was never fully verified. The Axeman's true identity remains a mystery, and his case has inspired books, documentaries, and even an episode of American Horror Story. To this day, the streets of New Orleans whisper his name, especially on St. Joseph's Night, when some locals still play jazz music, just in case the Axeman's spirit lingers. As I drive through Vietnam's shadowy streets, the fog creeping around me, this story reminds us that even in a city as vibrant as New Orleans, darkness can strike when you least expect it. What's the creepiest unsolved mystery you've heard? Share in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more roadside tales every day. See you in the next drive.